When he came home after 5 years, he thought his wife was a thief. When Aaron Miller came back after 5 long years, he didn't come with flowers. He came with suspicion. The house looked the same from the outside, a narrow 2-story home in a quiet American suburb, paint slightly faded, porch steps creaking under his weight. But the moment he stepped inside, something felt off. Not broken, not wrong, just unfamiliar. His wife, Emily, stood near the kitchen doorway. She had been waiting for him since morning, not with excitement, with fear. Aaron barely looked at her face. His eyes went straight to the living room, the furniture, the shelves, the small TV. Things he remembered. Things that now felt like they didn't belong to him anymore. Where did the money go? He asked flatly. Emily blinked. What money? The savings. The money I sent every month. His voice was controlled, but tight. It's gone. Emily's hands trembled. I didn't take anything. Your mother. Before she could finish, Aaron cut her off. Don't lie to me. That was the first time the word lie entered their marriage. Aaron had been working overseas, long shifts, sleepless nights, chasing a future he believed would finally make him a man worth respecting. He sent money home regularly. He trusted that his family was handling things responsibly, but the stories he'd been fed before returning poisoned his mind. She's careless. She wastes money. She doesn't respect this family. Those words echoed louder than Emily's soft voice standing in front of him. She tried to explain about the hospital bills, about repairs, about how she never spent $1 without permission, but explanations sound like excuses when trust is already gone. Aaron walked past her, straight into his childhood bedroom. His mother sat on the bed, quiet. His sister leaned against the door frame, arms crossed, watching Emily like a stranger who had overstayed her welcome. No one defended her. That silence did more damage than shouting ever could. That night, Emily slept on the edge of the bed, stiff, afraid to move. Aaron turned his back to her. No words, no warmth, just distance, cold and intentional. She stared at the ceiling, tears soaking silently into the pillow. She didn't know that this was only the beginning. Tears soaking silently into the pillow. She didn't know that this was only the beginning. She didn't know that from this moment on, love would be replaced with judgment, and home would become a place she had to survive. As dawn crept through the curtains, Emily whispered a prayer she didn't know how to finish. Aaron, awake beside her, told himself one thing. If she's innocent, the truth will come out. But deep down, he had already chosen what he wanted to believe. After Aaron came back, the house didn't argue. It judged. Emily noticed it in small things first. The way conversations stopped when she entered a room. The way plates were set for everyone except her until someone remembered at the last second. The way her name was spoken less and less. No one said, "You don't belong here." They didn't have to. Every morning, Emily woke up before sunrise. She cleaned the kitchen, folded laundry, swept the floors, and made breakfast for the family. She served quietly, eyes down, hands steady. No one thanked her. Aaron watched all of this without really seeing it. To him, silence meant peace. After years of exhaustion, he wanted calm. He wanted order. And his family gave him exactly the version of the story he was already willing to believe. "She's dramatic," his sister said one afternoon, casually. "She pretends to be innocent," his mother added, not looking up from her tea. Aaron nodded. Emily stood in the hallway, holding a basket of clean clothes, listening. That night, when she tried to speak to him, her voice barely came out. "I feel like I'm not welcome here anymore." Aaron sighed, tired. "Why do you always make things bigger than they are?" That sentence shut her down completely. From that day on, Emily stopped explaining herself. She stopped defending her actions. She stopped hoping to be understood. Aaron's cousin, Mark, lived in the back unit of the house. He came and went freely, always watching Emily a little too closely. His comments started small, jokes, smirks, unnecessary remarks. "Must be nice, staying home all day," he said once. "You should smile more," he said another time. Emily ignored him. She always ignored him. But ignoring someone doesn't stop them. It only teaches them you're alone. One afternoon, when the house was empty, Mark blocked her path in the kitchen. His voice dropped. His smile changed. She froze. Nothing happened. Not that day. But fear moved in after that, quietly, permanently. Emily didn't tell anyone, because she already knew how it would end. That evening, Aaron came home late. Emily had dinner ready, just like always. She placed the plate in front of him with shaking hands. He didn't look at her. "You didn't clean the living room properly," he said. She nodded. "I'll redo it." That was marriage now. Instructions. Compliance. Distance. At night, Emily lay awake listening to the sounds of the house, doors closing, footsteps moving freely, laughter that never included her. She wondered when love had turned into something so sharp. Aaron lay beside her, staring at his phone, telling himself he was doing the right thing. That discipline was necessary. That respect had to be earned. That silence meant control. He didn't see that the woman beside him was slowly disappearing. And the house, once built on family, was learning how to destroy someone quietly. The weekend guests arrived just after noon. Relatives. Neighbors. Familiar faces that used to feel safe. The house filled with voices, coffee cups, polite laughter. It looked normal from the outside, the kind of gathering people post pictures of. Emily stayed in the kitchen. She moved carefully, quietly, carrying trays, refilling cups, keeping her eyes low. Her body felt heavy, tired in a way she couldn't explain. She thought it was exhaustion. She didn't know it was something else. Mark watched her closely that day. Too closely. When no one was paying attention, he leaned toward Aaron's sister and whispered something. Her expression changed instantly. She looked at Emily like she had just discovered something disgusting. Within minutes, the air shifted. Emily felt it before she understood it. Aaron's sister stood up suddenly. Her voice was sharp enough to cut through the room. "So," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "maybe you'd like to explain what you've been doing behind our backs." The room went silent. Emily froze. "What are you talking about?" Aaron looked up, confused, then irritated. "Explain what?" Mark stepped forward. Calm. Confident. Prepared. "I didn't want to say anything," he said, shaking his head like a reluctant hero. "But someone had to. I've seen how she behaves when no one's home." Emily's heart slammed into her chest. "That's not true," she whispered. Aaron stood up slowly. His face hardened. "Say it again." "She invites attention," Mark continued. "She doesn't act like a married woman." The words landed like blows. Emily looked around the room. Faces stared back at her, judging, curious, already convinced. "No," she said, louder now. "He's lying." Aaron's mother stood. "Enough," she said coldly. "We raised you better than this." That was when something inside Aaron snapped. His shame turned into rage. His doubt turned into certainty. He crossed the room in 3 steps. The sound of the slap echoed louder than any argument. Emily stumbled back, her cheek burning, the room spinning. Gasps filled the air. Someone looked away. No one stopped him. "How long?" Aaron demanded. "How long have you been embarrassing me?" "I didn't do anything," Emily cried. "I swear." He raised his hand again, then stopped. His chest heaved. His voice dropped. "Go to the room. Don't come out." She obeyed. That night, the door closed behind her like a verdict. What happened next stayed hidden from the world, but it broke her in ways she would never fully explain. When it was over, Emily curled into herself on the floor, shaking, staring at the wall. She didn't cry loudly. She didn't scream. She just disappeared inside her own silence. Days passed. Weeks. Emily grew weaker. Nauseous. Dizzy. One morning, she collapsed in the bathroom. When she finally went to the clinic alone, the doctor looked at her gently. "You're pregnant," she said. Emily walked home in a daze. A life was growing inside her, and the house she lived in had already decided she was guilty. Emily didn't tell anyone about the pregnancy at first. She tried to convince herself it was temporary, that maybe if she stayed quiet long enough, things would calm down. That maybe Aaron would see her again, not as an accusation, but as his wife. But the house had already made its decision. One morning, Aaron's mother called her into the living room. Aaron sat there too. His eyes didn't meet Emily's. "We can't keep doing this," his mother said flatly. "People are talking." Emily's hands rested over her stomach without her realizing it. "I haven't done anything wrong," she said softly. Aaron stood up. His voice was firm, final. "You need to leave for a while." The word "while" sounded temporary. It wasn't. She packed a small bag. No one helped her. No one asked where she would go. The front door closed behind her with a sound that felt permanent. Emily walked down the street slowly, unsure of where her feet were taking her. She ended up at a small room she could barely afford, thin walls, a single window, and silence that followed her everywhere. The sickness got worse. Some days she couldn't keep food down. Other days she slept just to avoid feeling anything at all. She talked to no one. She told herself that if she stayed invisible, the pain would pass. It didn't. Back at the house, life moved on. Aaron buried himself in work. He told himself this was necessary. That distance would solve everything. That she needed time to reflect. But something felt wrong. The house was quieter now, not peaceful. Empty. One evening, the cleaning woman, Rosa, hesitated before speaking. She didn't take anything, Rosa said carefully. She never did. Aaron looked up. What? The money. The accusations. None of it was her. His chest tightened. Rosa continued, nervous but honest. She cried every night. She worked until she could barely stand. And she's pregnant. The room spun. Pregnant. Aaron's breath caught. That's not possible. Rosa met his eyes. It is. And you know why? The truth landed hard. Heavy. Unavoidable. For the first time since coming home, Aaron felt fear, not anger. Fear of what he had done. Fear of what he might have destroyed. Without saying another word, he grabbed his keys and ran. Emily was lying on the bed when the knock came. She thought it was the landlord. When she opened the door and saw Aaron, her knees nearly gave out. He looked different. Smaller. Broken. I'm sorry, he said, his voice cracking. I didn't know. I believed the wrong people. Emily pressed a hand to her stomach instinctively. Tears filled her eyes. Please, she whispered. Just don't leave again. Aaron stepped forward slowly, like someone approaching something fragile. I won't, he said. I swear. But the damage had already been done. And some wounds don't heal just because the truth finally shows up. Aaron didn't take Emily back to the house. Not yet. He knew better now. Instead, he sat beside her on the edge of the bed, the small room quiet except for the hum of the heater. He noticed things he had ignored before, how thin her wrists looked, how she flinched when he moved too fast, how she held her stomach like she was guarding something precious. I'm not here to force anything, he said. I just want to protect you. Emily didn't answer right away. I didn't cheat, she said finally. Her voice wasn't angry. It was tired. I never did. Aaron swallowed hard. I know. That word, no, came too late. He went back to the house alone that night. For the first time, he didn't sit quietly. He didn't listen. He spoke. She's my wife, he said. And the baby is mine. His mother protested. His sister denied everything. Mark laughed it off. Aaron didn't. He cut Mark off from the house. He warned his family. He made it clear there would be no more lies, no more cruelty disguised as concern. But fixing damage isn't the same as undoing it. Emily didn't move back right away. She attended her appointments alone. She slept lightly. She trusted slowly. Aaron showed up. Every day. Not with speeches, with actions. Groceries. Rides. Quiet presence. Apologies that weren't rushed. Some nights, he sat outside her door and waited. Just in case she needed him. Months passed. When the baby was born, Aaron held his child with shaking hands. The weight of what he almost lost settled fully on his chest. Emily watched him carefully. She didn't forgive him immediately. She didn't have to. Because love doesn't heal on command. It heals when it's safe. Years later, their life was quieter. Smaller. Honest. Aaron never chased success the same way again. He learned that winning meant staying. Listening. Choosing love before pride. And Emily? She learned that survival is its own kind of strength. Some scars remained. But so did the truth. And that truth became the foundation of everything that came after. Some people lose everything chasing control. And only understand love when it's almost gone.